Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Amuse Jester. My name is Junior. Let's look at Spinmaster's 1989 Batwing. This is, I guess, a 3 3/4 scale um, Batwing. So Spinmaster came out with a 1989 Batmobile from the Flash movie, which in two versions. One was just a regular plastic, no gimmicks, no lights, with Batman, and another one was a remote control version with lights and smoke. That was going for $120. Um, and the plastic version, I believe, was going for $25. The remote control version was going for $120, which at the time was a hard sell for me, and I'm not into this scale at all. But when they announced the 1989 Batwing, um, that it just sparked in my head that with that RC remote control and the Batwing, you would be able to create a Batcave diorama if you wanted to. So we're going to look into that as well. This is the box really quickly. Again, this is the 1989 Batwing with the Michael Keaton figure, but this figure actually is the 1992 version, I believe, the armor, and it's, I don't think it's from the Flash movie. We'll look into that again. The box is very simple. We'll just go over it really quickly. So let me open it up and see what's going on. So we're not gonna go really quickly in depth to how this figure looks. For the size, actually that face doesn't look half bad for the size. I mean, it's got Michael Keaton's pouty lips, the shape of this face. The cowl is obviously not that great looking. The bat ears are too thick, but this is really, really small though. Here's my fingernail for comparison. As I thought, this is the 1990 version of the bat suit, not the 1989 one. You guys know what are the differences, right? Because this is more armor plated. The symbol, the bat, is pointed. They were using the same belt, so that's good. The arms, and they kind of use the same design for the boots as well. Big gaping hole in the back of the cape for a feature we don't know anything about. For the size, it's not bad, articulation wise. There isn't any up and down movement on the head, no ab crunch, no waist articulation. Kicks up that much. There's a thigh joint, single joints on the knees, no ankle rotation. There's a bicep swivel, or not a bicep, but an elbow swivel. Nothing on the wrist. But for this size, honestly, this is nothing more than just to stand around and to be in the vehicle. So not much to complain about that. So let's look at this Batwing. Let's put it together. Very simple. These are the lights, so you want to make sure that's pointed up, and it should be just a push and a shove. Oh, that's tight, really. This is bigger than I expected. Okay, the Batwing is larger than I expected because it's out of frame. But there's the silhouette. Silhouette really looks nice for the price. There's some, this is just bare plastic, or maybe it's not. I had a YouTube comment about the animated Batmobile, where I thought it was just bare plastic, but they were saying that it was actually did have some sort of paint on it. But this one, I think this is more bare plastic. But, and you can see some scuffing going on. This is from the packaging. This is the kind of toy vehicle that I kind of want for the price range. Detailed enough, not painted, some stickers. This is the kind of like the toy vehicles from my childhood, but with slightly better detailing. What I mean by that is it feels hollow. It feels kind of not premium quality. And as I go in the back, you'll see this where it's almost empty. And I kind of feel like I probably would have paid a little bit more if this had been like a second layer covering this up. I would have been happier, because this really feels empty to me. But for the price, I really can't complain too much. So in terms of stickers, it's got very few stickers here, but it's enough to put the decals or reflect what was on the movie. Everything's basically minimized, minimal detailing, but enough to convey what is in the movie. Another example is the missiles over here. At least they're painted. I feel like other companies would have just like not painted it at all. So it's really nice that they have paid attention to that. Even the cockpit, I feel like other companies would have just put on a black on it, not painted it. As you can see, even the knobs here do have silver coloring, and this is a sticker over here. So for what it is, we're so I'm comparing this to like vehicles that we got from the 1985s with G.I. Joe and all that stuff. They wouldn't have any of that smaller paint job like that. It's not, I feel like for them back then, it's not worth it. So to see that kind of stuff in there, it's pretty good of a company to do that, I think. For the price, again, I can't remember what the price is. This is probably like $30, $25. So for the price point, for what it is, it's pretty good. And then let's put it in the Batman over here. There are no joysticks, no controls whatsoever, but he can fit in there just fine, and he kind of leans back a little bit. I also want to point out that this thing does have landing gear. We never really see the Batwing land, and of course it does have this massive cavity over there, but it's, you know, it's an option. Now, I wasn't, when the Flash movie came out, I wasn't really interested in buying the Flash movie version of the Batwing. I kind of wish I did now, because those were going for like $10 or something at Ross, and I never decided to buy it. I might buy it now. I don't know. The thing is, this particular scale, I don't want to be in this scale. I don't have any more room. My collection concentrates on 6-inch. For premium size, premium quality, I go to the 12-inch line, but I don't want to go to the 3 3/4 inch. The only reason why I would have liked to have gotten into the 3 3/4 line is because the figures are small enough that when the line goes into the vehicles or playset, you actually have room to display them, and you basically have a world builder set. But obviously not a lot of companies are not doing that right now, and this is, you know, I've been collecting for the past 30 years, so I've had to concentrate my collection. So let's see what this looks like the way the reason for the reason why I bought it, which is to basically create a world building diorama. Alright, so I've temporarily displayed the Batwing on a stand. Basically that's kind of what I wanted to do. And you have basically, this is the RC version. This is the RC version of the Spinmaster 1989 Batwing. This is what I was thinking of when they announced this. So I was backwardsly collecting. When they announced this popped into my head, and I instantly regretted not buying this. So I went back, and surprisingly, because this did so poorly in sales, it was on sale. I got it from Walmart for $99. It was a third-party vendor, not directly from Walmart itself. I believe Amazon is selling this for $115. The original was $125 pricing. So let's see, turn this on, take out the Batman, and let's do a comparison. This is the Batman that came with the Batwing, I mean the Batmobile. This is the other reason why I was not a big fan of the Spinmaster version. Can you see that? Can you see the difference between the two? I know it's kind of blurry, but this sucks. I'm going to tell you right now, this absolutely sucks. So when I was reviewing this, the Spinmaster RC version of the car, I compared it to the Batman, which the Batman Batmobile from Spinmaster, and I saw that their figures did not scale to one another. That's so stupid. Why are you doing that, Spinmaster? This is basically the Batman from the Flash movie. The design is different. This figure costume is from the Flash movie. This is from the 1989 Batwing. So I'm assuming that the 3-pack of the Batman from the Spinmaster, which I did not buy, would scale to this, because I believe that's a reuse of this figure. But why would you do that? That's just from your own line. This is one of the things that kills it for me. However, what I'll say is that I'm going to be displaying this not with the figure. I mean, actually, I can kind of get away with that. Obviously, let's see, will this, see this, that looks too tall for that car. That looks good for that car. So when I'm displaying this anyway, I guess it won't really matter if this one's in that Batwing, that one's in this Batmobile. I won't be seeing this. And if I'm going to display a Batman, unfortunately, I'm going to have to be displaying it with this Batman, which scales to this. And the Batwing looks good enough to scale to that. And technically, because this is a smaller Batman, I should be able to use this with that Batwing. And it should fit. But still though, it's unfortunate because this actually has an earlier version of Batman Keaton, the 1992, which would have been nice to have in this vehicle, because I prefer this costume rather than this costume. And the face sculpt is much better than this one and that. But unfortunately, we can't do that because it doesn't scale. The length of this Batwing is around 15 inches. And the height is about 13 inches. The Batmobile, just in case you're interested in comparing it with a Jada Toys diecast, is around 13 and a half. maybe 13 and a quarter. So final thoughts. The figures, they suck. The scale doesn't work. For the vehicles, the diorama set and that, they scale enough, good enough, so that you can kind of get away with it. I would have preferred this to display this Batman with this whole thing, but unfortunately his scale is way too big. This is the proper scale for both, I believe, but it's a different costume. So for my initial thought of displaying this as a diorama and building a Batcave like diorama, it still works. The value is still there. If you want to buy it as a separate piece, the value is good. It displays really nice, as long as you don't mind the emptiness of the bottom part. Honestly, it's a negative for that, but for the price that we're paying for it, it's not really that bad. The vehicle itself is not 100% accurate to the model that was used in the film. I would say it's like mostly there because the guns over here aren't visible, and this ribbing that's occurring on the side, that's not from that's not in the movie, that's not in the model. That should have been smoother. The paint job, as you can see here, makes sense, but the actual sculpting doesn't. Again, even though that's a criticism, it's still not bad for the price that you're paying. So in my opinion, the value is well worth the price that you're paying, especially if you decided to get this one. And remember, this Batmobile does have a cheaper version for $20. So if you want to display a Batmobile with your Batwing, this is pretty cool in itself. So in terms of value, if you want to display with the Batmobile, I believe, even though the scaling of the two figures are incorrect, the vehicles themselves, let's see, the scaling of the vehicles in comparison to each other works enough with each other. So if you want to do that, you can get the basic version of this for $25. You can get that for $25 or $35, whichever one's the price is, and you'll get a good enough display value for both, I believe. For play value, it's still there. It's pretty good, even though there's some inaccuracies. For the price that you're paying, it's really not a bad deal. So that's it for my review of the Spinmaster 1989 Batwing. I believe it's a really good buy. You get a really good play value, display value for the price that you're paying. They did a really good job just adding enough detail to make it look good, and then you can take it from there if you want to customize it. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you guys soon on another video. Bye.